Hello, Assalamualaikum, and today we are going to look into chapter 5 of our topic. And chapter 5 is entitled Information Pre-Processing for Analytics. And chapter 5 and chapter 6 is look like the same, it's just that it's the pre-processing, while chapter 6 is the processing part. Okay, and the first one is the information pre-processing. It comprises the set of steps that transform raw data into structured and usable form of analysis. As you can see here, before you started with the ETL, the extract, transform, and load, we will do this, the data cleaning, the data integration, the data transformation, and then the data reduction. The data cleaning is involves identifying and rectifying errors. Usually we will remove inconsistencies and handling missing values, the one that you did with the Power BI and also Google Refine. While other than that, we also do the data integration. For example, in our case, we combine all the date, month, and year together. And then we also combine multiple data sets together so that it can be a unified data set. We also transform the data, we convert the data, we adjust the format of the data, we standardize the units, and we normalize the variables so that it can be processed and provide and generate valuable data and understandable data. While the data reduction is a process to reduce the dimensionality of data while retaining its essential information. Doesn't mean that you delete the data, doesn't mean that you change the data. Data reduction means we try to discard emptiness in the data. Sometimes irrelevant data also included in our data sets, so we need to do data reduction. And we also need to do the descriptive statistical analysis. And in the pre-processing, these are part of the thing that we also do in the mid-processing, whereby the descriptive statistical analysis focus on summarizing and describing data to gain insight into its basic characteristics. So by the data analysis, you will be able to describe what is actually happening with the data, what is happening with the results of the data analysis. By doing this, you are required to use the statistical software or use the analysis software to see the mean, the median, the mode, the variance, and the standard deviation that usually happen in the data analysis. Because descriptive analysis would help you understand the average height, for example, the range, how the height are distributed. It's also involved creating charts or graphs to visualize the data, so to make it easier to be understood. Then other than the descriptive analysis, you can also do the regression analysis, whereby a statistical technique used to explore relationship between dependent variable and one or more independent variable. For example, let's say we are talking about a rich person. A rich person must be someone who is hardworking. So we have two variables there, hardworking and rich person. So regression analysis will see, is it true that hardworking will lead to rich person? So they are having relationship. So what is the regression analysis is doing? They wanted to see, is there any relationship? Is there any relevancy between hardworking and being rich? So it happens that in your regression analysis, you can see, oh, hardworking is not necessarily required to become a rich person. So now you can see there is no relationship between hardworking and rich person. So that is how regression analysis. Other than that, you can see the example that I provide you with the four paragraph afterwards. You can see there. Let's say we want to understand how studying time affects students' exam score. Think of like this. Imagine you have a bunch of data points, so different studying time and their corresponding exam score. So this is how people do the regression analysis. While the correlation analysis examines the statistical relationship between two or more variables, however, it measures the strength and direction of association between variables, helping to identify patterns and dependencies. You can see the below example. Imagine you have data on two variables, such as studying time and exam score for a group of students. So correlation analysis will examine the data to see whether there is a relationship between studying time and exam score. So you can see here, it's different a bit with the regression analysis, whereby you can see only between two variables, while the correlation you can see many variables and patterns. And correlation is measured using the value called as the correlation coefficient. So it ranges from the -1 to +1. Okay, so +1 means there is a perfect positive relationship, which means, for example, just now, yes, there is a positive relationship between hardworking and being rich. Okay, that is the strength of the relationship. And another analysis is about the analysis of variance, also called as the ANOVA analysis of variance. Is to compare means across multiple groups of treatments. It determines whether there are significant differences between the means of different groups and identify the source of variability. So you can see the example right here. Imagine you have three different pots of plants and you want to find out if the type of fertilizer, baja, used affects plant growth. So you use three different fertilizers and measure the height of the plants after a certain period. So ANOVA helps us determine if the differences between groups are due to the factor we are interested in, or if they are just random fluctuations. So you can see how many pots that are having the similar fertilizer, growth, performance affected by this fertilizer, or actually fertilizer is not affecting any plant growth. So this is how we can see that we are doing the variance, the analysis of variance between all the pots of plants. And the last one is the prescriptive statistical analysis, whereby this is actually an advanced form of analytics. They use the optimization techniques, simulation models, and also predictive algorithm to determine the best course of action for a given scenario, as if like you are doing the decision making support analysis. Okay, think of this is the example. Think of predictive analysis as a guide that helps make decisions based on data. So it uses advanced technique to analyze complex data set. For example, in business, uh, used to optimize supply chain management. Okay, it can analyze a large amount of data, consider various scenarios, and provide recommendation. So prescriptive statistical analysis provide you with the essence of recommendation to support with decision making. And that will be all for chapter 5. Thank you.